Alrighty then, you might have gone, Stephen, there's no way you've got any transfer news for me this week. Well, you're fucking wrong, aren't you? Pin 'em back, it's transfer review. First up then, and of course they're going big with this one, it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Really? Jesus. Yeah. So Gazzetta dello Sport are suggesting that contact has already been made between Manchester United and super agent George Mendes. What makes you a super agent versus a regular agent? Do you need to wear your underpants on the outside of your jeans? Or a cape? And why do superheroes wear capes? And underpants on the outside of the trousers? Why can't you just wear normal clothes and fly? And how did Superman put some sunglasses on, or not even, actually, he put some rimless glasses on, and then everyone's like, oh, who the fucking hell's he? Don't you think the guy that could fly and use laser vision would be the most famous guy in the world, and anyone even remotely look like him? Well, hey, that reporter from that newspaper. Oh, is it the same place? Never mind. Anyway, super agent George Mendes with his cape apparently has been in touch. What does that mean? One, fucking has he though? Two, even if he has, is it about Ronaldo? Because let's be honest, I guess if you're a super agent, you got more than one client. Three, has he though? I actually do think, well, Woodward, fucking who, Steve? Yeah, he's gone. Who's coming in next? Conor McGregor? I could go down a rabbit hole on how good Conor McGregor would be for entertainment purposes, but I'm trying to stay on topic here today. Cristiano Ronaldo, can he come in and do something? Yeah, the guy's got a biological age of about 24 or something, bananas like that. He is a machine. Do I think he's going to play till he's 40? Yes. Will he play in the Premier League until he's 40? No. I think you go and take it easy a little bit. You don't come to the Premier League for that. I do think that there is an opportunity that he could come back to Manchester United. I do think of that. And I do think that if we lose Cavani, and I think we're going to lose Cavani, does Ronaldo fill in that gap as the number 9? And you bring in someone like a Mason Greenwood to learn from. I mean, if you're Mason Greenwood, you've had someone like Cavani to learn off, and then they bring in Ronaldo for you to learn off. The impact that Ronaldo's attitude and work ethic could have on the rest of the squad might be worth more than what you would get for bringing Ronaldo in and getting from him just as his player on his own. I would love to see it happen. I just don't think it'll happen. 2 out of 10. Varane. Last week we did talk about Varane a little bit. I said this is one that I think that United wants to make happen. Is all this thrown up into the air now with the managerial changes, the CEO changes that have happened at Manchester United? It's hard to say, isn't it? I mean, we don't know to what extent Woodward had his fingerprints on certain deals. You don't know to what point whatever. We don't know who's replacing him. We don't know if he's going to fulfill the deals that all the rest of it. Because actually, I guess technically he's still here until the end of the year, which is a bit, yeah. So Rafael Varane, Real Madrid are reportedly facing difficulties in getting him to renew his contract. This according to Sports Witness. AS also stated that United's interest is firm and evident. And France Football also reported that United want to bring him to Old Trafford. So it's pretty much what we were saying last week. United's interest in him is real. Is that interest reciprocated, and can United do a deal? Those are the next questions, and they're not as straightforward, and they're not necessarily as affirmative as United's seeming interest in him is. I still can't give this more than a 3 out of 10, though. I just don't think there's been any development on it in the last week. I think everyone's attention has been elsewhere. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, how? Sancho. The Star are reporting that United's hopes of signing Sancho have improved following the news of Ed Woodward's impending departure. He's still here though. He's still here till the end of this year, so any transfers that happen in the summer are still going to have Ed Woodward's fingerprints on them to a certain degree. Unless Ed Woodward's gone around from spinning in his chair to drinking vodka and spinning around in his chair, because I worked a long notice period. The longest notice period I ever had to work was 9 months. It's brutal. I played a lot of Pro Evo. A lot of Pro Evo. I would walk in, I'd grab a clipboard, and I'd go like, I got things and that. And I'd be like, all right. And then I'd go back to my room, chilling. Maybe Ed Wood was doing that. Maybe he's going to get fucking double mint at FIFA or Pro Evo. Or Footy Manager, because he seemingly wants to be one. Anyway, they say Woodward never saw eye to eye with Borussia Dortmund and that his exit could be a boost ahead of a busy summer window in which Ed Woodward is still the CEO of Manchester United. Well done, Daily Star. Didn't think that one through, did we? Jadon Sancho's always wanted to come to Manchester United. Manchester United have always wanted Jadon Sancho. Borussia Dortmund have always wanted to sell him. The problem has always been United aren't putting enough pennies on the table to make Dortmund do it. If Sancho threatens to kick off, if blah, 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 you don't know the financial implications of everything that's just happened in the past week. There might be an opportunity. There might be a deal to be made. If they're still holding out for like 100 million plus, I don't think they're going to get it. I don't think anyone's going to get that sort of value for anyone outside of maybe Haaland and Kane this summer. So I wouldn't expect it. But it'd be interesting to see if they do. Sancho to United, again, like Varane, the interest is real. But interest has been real for 2-3 years with Sancho. It's can we actually get it done? Can we actually get it over the line? That's where this all falls down. So 3 out of 10. That was the ins. This is the outs. Starting with the Glazers. Are they gone? Well, no, not yet. Are they seemingly on the exit ramp? Well, actually, they might be. There's been a lot of talk all week from various different journalists that the decision to suspend, the decision to withdraw from the European Super League has put a massive dent in the Glazers' plans going forward for the future. That might then lead to the Glazers selling. It's easier said than done. There's a lot of talk. I spoke to the mayor yesterday. Go check that video out if you haven't already. And they were talking about legislation to try and introduce the 50+1. There's a lot of hurdles. It's not that simple, but there are things that they can do to smooth that process and to sort of start enacting that process, which might be very useful. Go check that video out if you haven't seen it. I think there's going to be more to come on the 50+1 thing as we go forward. The Glazers aren't going out yet, but do you know what? For the first time in 16 years, it actually feels like there is some light at the end of the tunnel. And if you're in Manchester, there is supposedly a protest this afternoon. I haven't organised it. This channel hasn't organised it, but we will support anybody. That's what we exist to do as a fan channel. We will support anybody that's got something they want to say about Manchester United. Whether we disagree with it or agree with it, if fans are going out and protesting, us as a fan channel have to support what the fans want. So that's what we have to say on that. They're not gone yet, but for the first time in 16 years, it feels like there's light at the end of the tunnel. It feels like there's a chance. Previously, 2 years ago, you're sitting there and you're going, how are you going to get rid of him? And you go, I don't know. We need someone with like 4 billion at least. Whereas now it might feel like this business plan is enough to start seeing them away. And it feels like the government might also get in the mixer. Those can only be positive things. So it feels like it's light at the end of the tunnel. Is it a strong chance? No. I put this at like 2 out of 10 at the moment, and I don't know what sort of timeline that rests on either, because obviously there's no transfer window to get rid of your owners. It feels like step one has been taken. Let's keep the pressure on, and let's keep trying to crank it up, and let's see if we can actually make some real change that would benefit the club going forward. Tellez. Calcio Mercato are reporting that Tellez is willing to leave United, with Juventus eyeing a swap deal involving either Rabiot or Sandro. I believe that's a load of bollocks, and I'm going to give it a 0 out of 10. Pogba. Pogba's kind of intrinsically linked now to Bruno Fernandes, who's gone, yeah, I'll sign a new deal. If he signs one. Shit. Because that's either fucking hell, we're having it, aren't we? Or fucking hell, we're fucked. And there is no middle ground here. There's no grey area. There's either crack out the sausage rolls, we're fucking having it, lads, or crack out the sausage rolls, we're depression eating again. Either way, we have sausage rolls, so it's not that bad a day. The Sun are claiming Bruno Fernandes will only sign a new deal at United if his teammate commits his long-term future to the Reds, and he's obviously thrown his hat in the mixer as well. I do think United are going to offer Paul Pogba an absolutely eye-watering deal. I've thought that for a while. Whether or not he accepts it, obviously I have no insight into that. But I think because there's going to be such a limited number of options for him to go to, and it seems like you'd have to be off your tits to want to go to Real Madrid at the moment, wouldn't you, with Florentino Perez? Can you imagine he gets on the phone to you and is like, hello Paul, I'd like you to sign for Real Madrid, and you go, cool mate, I've just seen you in the newspapers talking all the shit. Are you a well man? I don't think you're a well man. I think that's probably done everyone a favour. Sometimes it's better to keep your mouth shut, innit, than come out on national TV and have everyone go, has he not took medication today? What is he on about? Make football shorter. 16 to 24-year-olds don't care about football. Guy's absolutely bananas. So Paul Pogba, I think it's almost 50-50 with Paul Pogba. And it's got external factors that are going to play into it. And unfortunately, this kind of puts Bruno Fernandes on the outs as well. He's got a longer contract, so it's not as urgent with him. And I guess things could happen in the meantime which do make him change his mind. But him, if that's true, it wasn't a son, if it's true that he's come out and gone, he signs, I sign, you go, okay, kind of straightforward, if not very straightforward to get done. So 50-50 on Paul Pogba, and I don't even want to give a rating on Fernandes because that scares me. So let's just leave it at that, shall we? Get your asses to Old Trafford if you're around later on, and come and support the protest and support fan action, because that's never usually a bad thing. And I guess cheers for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe. And shit, we got football to play this weekend. See you tomorrow.